What is going on, everybody? It's Dave in here helping you play creatively. One of the most common questions I get from beginners is, how do I learn the piano fast? Now, initially, I do not like that question because it implies that there's some type of cheat code to learning the piano in a few months. Now, while I don't think there is a cheat code to learning the piano quickly, I do think there are steps you can take to learn it faster. It would be like if you were to go to the gym and you might notice that, hey, you and your friend go to the gym, but one can progress more quickly while the other still struggles in the same area. And you look back 6 months from now and one person has lost a lot of weight and the other person is in the same position they were in 6 months ago, right? So there are some steps that you can take to learn the piano quickly. Here they are. Number 1, know your goal. So what do I mean by know your goal? Well, learning the piano, simply having that only goal in mind is very broad. It's too broad. And what you're going to find is that you're going to be all over the place. You're going to watch this video, you might buy this course, you might get this teacher, and you might wonder, why aren't things working out? It's because you didn't have a really specific goal. So how can we narrow that goal down? We can do that by knowing which genre we want to play. And so that genre could be gospel, jazz, classical, country, worship music, so many genres out there. Narrow that goal down and then break that down even further. What are the elements of that genre that you need to work on? If you're a beginner, really you're just starting from the beginning in learning your basic chords and your progressions that are associated with that genre. But if you've been playing the piano for a little bit of time, you can break those elements down into passing chords, substitutions for gospel. For jazz, it could be soloing, it could be modes. For classical, you could be working on technique, your sight reading. There's so many things that you can break down, all right? And so you need to know your goal. The second thing I think that piano players should work on if they want to play the piano faster is you should get a teacher. That's absolutely essential. YouTube is not a good teacher. Why? Because YouTube is not a systematic resource for learning the instrument. All of the videos are random. They're all over the place, right? And what I find is many students are watching one type of video this week on modes and another type of video on scales the next week, right? And there is no systematic learning happening. However, when you have a teacher, they're taking you through a step-by-step process, okay? A teacher can also ask you the right questions. They know you, right? And so they know you, the way you learn, and so they're gonna adjust their teaching to help you learn better, especially if they're a good teacher. Also, a teacher has been to the destination that you want to go to, and because of that, they can take you there much more quickly rather than you trying to navigate this large map of music. Okay, so it's essential to get a teacher. Now, I recognize that some people can't have access to teachers, and the next best thing would be online courses. I have an online course where it walks you through a step-by-step process, and I have many of my friends on YouTube, like Piano Lessons with Warren, Daquan Bowens. I recommend all these guys' courses, all right? So you can go and check those things out. They are not replacements for having teachers, but I think they are certainly the next best thing because they walk you through a systematic process, okay? The third thing I think that you should think about in playing the piano faster is you need a proper practice plan. And so we talked about how many beginning students watch a lot of random videos on YouTube. Often that translate into the way they rehearse. And so they're practicing one thing today, they're practicing another thing tomorrow. Their practice is all over the place. And you don't want that, especially if you're trying to get to a destination. And the reason why I think your practice is all over the place is because you don't know which destination you're trying to get to. So here's how I divide my practice time. In the beginning, I'm practicing technique. So I'm practicing scales, I'm practicing arpeggios, I'm practicing soloing ideas, I'm practicing riffs, I'm practicing runs, I'm practicing new chords, inversions, new progressions. I'm practicing those things in my technique time, okay? From there, I move on to songs. And so most of my rehearsal is spent on learning new music. And then in the final area of my practice time, I spend it on creative ideas. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, there's all this music theory out there. And so what I do is I take one concept and I figure out how do I apply that one concept into the songs I'm learning. So maybe I am working on the whole tone scale and I'm trying to figure out how do I apply the whole tone scale into the music that I'm currently playing. Maybe I am working on a new 2-5-1 progression and I'm trying to figure out how do I apply this 2-5-1 progression into the music that I'm playing, okay? And so that's how I divide my practice time. Those are some steps I think that you can take as a beginner to get to your destination much more quickly. Hey, if you want to check out my piano course, go ahead and check it out in the links above me and in the description below. I also have some free courses and other resources that you can check out on the website. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and we'll all keep growing together. I'll see you guys next week.